All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Wahara Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elder bishops, and the elders of the great millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect out here toiling in this truth. And Shalom to the few Akwatium that listen and learn in silence. To all of you, I say Shalom. This is the priest Bathaka Marth, GMS Dallas, and I'm just coming back at you with a really quick hit lesson. The brother Benaiah here in the Dallas camp just put up, GM standing firm, GMS standing firm 2. That's his page, and he just put up this little excerpt going into the SNAPs and the EBT, the food stamps, the government assistance program, those benefits, and hey, bro. We're here, man. You know what I'm saying? Things about to get tough. These people are already going through it, man. America is done, man. I just put up a video earlier this morning, how Esau is basically, the devil is crying and, life is over. He basically wants to leave the earth, so Esau is feeling it. So, this place is through, man. You know what I'm saying? It's over. But we're here, man. You know what I'm saying? Things about to get tough. Things about to get ugly. Jacob's trouble is at hand. We're already in it. But, things are about to, amp up, and ramp up. You know what I'm saying? So, but I just wanted to do a little quick hit lesson, because we're in the times of Jacob trouble, times about to get hard. It's about to get rough, man. You know what I'm saying? These people are about to really feel, the Lord, man. You know what I'm saying? All these non-believers, man. You know what I'm saying? Those been coming up against the doctrine, and hey, 2/3 of our people are about to feel it, man. F the world, you know what I'm saying? We don't give a damn about them, but they, hey, the world is about to feel it as well. But the Israelites, 2/3 of our people, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and similar Indians of Negroid descent, of course, the scattered seed, they may not come looking like the average Israelite, are all about to feel it, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm going to read this and then we're going to get a few scriptures and get in and out. It says the food stamp program will run out of money in 2 weeks, and roughly 42 million people are at risk of losing critical food assistance in November. So this thing is here, man, amid the federal government shutdown, which Trump did that. Presidents are responsible for government shutdown. So he did that, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not an accident. This devil is on a tear, man. You know what I'm saying? And he's the dude. He's that dude. All of these prophecies are coming to pass at the hand of Nero Trump, man. So it says, I guess this is an excerpt from Black Millionaires. Looks like that's what that is. But it says, we got 2 weeks before the stamps get cut off due to the government shutdown. This could, as a matter of fact, I think I can click into this. Yeah, Black Millionaires. It says, we got 2 weeks before food stamps get cut off due to the government shutdown. This could bleed into Thanksgiving for millions of Americans. Americans who rely on supplemental nutrition assistance program, the SNAPs benefits, to buy food may be affected as soon as November if the ongoing government shutdown continues. And that's the plan. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this dude, Nero Trump, he's after Jake, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why he got these red state, good old boys, masquerading around here as ICE members, going into the blue states, where Jake is, man. You know what I'm saying? So it all goes back to that perpetual hatred, Ezekiel the 35th chapter, which goes back to the garden, in Genesis, where the Lord told the serpent that his seed would have enmity or hatred for the seed of the woman, man. So, and these devils are mad, man. At the end of the day, they want the blessing, and it doesn't belong to them, and they're trying to hold on to something that doesn't belong to them. This place is that it's in, and it's coming to an end. We're there, we're here. So it says, in a letter to state agencies dated October 10th, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, said there will not be enough funding to pay the entirety of November SNAP benefits if the shutdown continues. So, and that's the plan, man. They're not planning on you know, on opening things back up in time to appease these people, man. You know what I'm saying? Nero Trump is on a mission, man. And at the end of the day, they're trying to make these people bow down, which they're going to. The majority of Jake is going to bow down. You know what I'm saying? They're going, and anything this devil brings forth or offers, they're going to be willing to take, man. You know what I'm saying? This is how you do it. They're about to attack the food, man. You know what I'm saying? They're finna take food and shut it down, man. Eventually these stores are going to run out of food anyway. You know what I'm saying? So all of these things are written. They're prophecy. They're written, and they're at hand, man. You know what I'm saying? So hey, bro, we're here, man. So real quick, let's get into some scriptures real quick. Let me this is on my spirit. I want to bring this one out real quick in Second Ezra. This is Second Ezra chapter 8 and verse 50. One of my go-tos. Second Ezra 8 and 50, it says, "For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride." So it says many great miseries. Misery in itself is a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Misery is terrible. There's a movie called Misery with what's his name? That Bates woman, and John, is his name John? I can't remember his name. But he was a writer. It was a cat. He was a writer, and he had a wreck. It was just like bad snow day, and he ended up having a wreck, and he had a wreck out near that Bates woman. Fried green tomatoes. She played the mother of Adam Sandler in that movie, Waterboy. Kathy Bates, and she finds him. He was at the point of death, and she finds him, and she drags him up to her house that was, close in the mist, and she basically nurses this dude back to health, and but she was in love with him. And she liked his books, his writings, and he was a writer, author, and basically kept this dude captive. And he got to the point of wanting to leave, and of course that's when the misery started. She's crazy as hell, and she got this log and put it between both of his legs, his feet, his ankles, and took a big sledgehammer and broke, hit his foot on each side and broke both his feet at the ankles. That's terrible, man. Misery, so, and then all of the things that he had to, want to get out of there, and this crazy woman, trying to hold him captive, and but so misery is bad in itself, but the Lord took it further, man. He took it a step further. For many, not one, for many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. And where did they get that pride from? Esau. He's the man of pride. He's the man of sin. He's a proud man. Neither keepeth at home, like I said in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. This dude is the man of pride. He's a proud man. The Lord tells him in Obadiah, the 1st chapter, I believe it's in Jeremiah as well, that it says, "The proud of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock." So they're the proud people. Esau is a proud man, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's the spirit and vibration that's been set in the earth, because the earth has been given into his hands, pursuant to Job 9 and 24, the 9th chapter and 24th verse. The earth has been given into the hand or the power of the wicked, man. You know what I'm saying? Which is these Edomites, the so-called self-proclaimed white man, woman, and child. You know what I'm saying? And it says, those great miseries are going to be done to them, these people, because so as the rulers, so are the people, the officers and everything. I believe that's in Ecclesiasticus, Sirach 10, the 10th chapter, around verse 4 or 5, I think. You know, so however the rulers are, that's how the people are going to be. That's the spirit and vibration. They're going to follow suit. You know, and that pride is in the earth, man. All these people are proud as hell, man, because Esau is a proud man, and that's the spirit and vibration he's placed in the earth, man, and put out in the earth. So the Lord is about to teach a lesson. He says again, Second Ezra 8:50, for many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. So that pride is about to get them dealt with, man. You know, the Lord is fed up. He doesn't like pride. You know, he hates Esau. And this is a characteristic and trait of Esau, man. You know, and if you've latched on to that pride, then the Lord has a problem with you as well, man. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, those many great miseries are on the way, man. You know, because of that pride. So it's all good, man. The Lord is about to show. He's about to deal, man. He's about to show and prove. So, yeah, we're in those times, man. You know what I'm saying? Jacob's trouble is at hand, and the Lord is about to show what it is. As a matter of fact, let's get well, no, let's start. Let's go here first. Let's get Daniel 12. This is Daniel 12. This is Daniel 12 and verse 1, and it reads, and in the heading you see it, the time of the end. We're there. We're in the time of the end. This is it. We're in the last days of the last days, man. It says, Daniel 12 and 1, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, which is the Israelites. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. So Jacob's trouble is here, man. You know, it says there's a time of trouble unlike any other since there was a nation, man. So we've never seen what the times that we're in, the things that are about to come. We've never seen it, man. AI is a part of that. You know, this nigga got robots and drones and all manner of technology that he's about to unleash and release on the people, man, on the world, man. You know, that to the likes of these people, they've never seen it, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's that time that we're in, you know, and AI is a part of that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's about to get ugly, man. It's about to get bad. We've never seen it. We're going to see it once. You know, it's been some terrible times on the earth. Don't get it twisted. Chattel slavery and the Great Depression. It's been some bad times on the earth, man. You know, and that's going to look like baby play compared to what's coming, man. You know what I'm saying? So, and you know the Lord going to do this big. It's going to be special, you know, and there's really not a word you can put on it because, you know, it's just too big. You know, biblical proportions is probably the best you can do. You know, what's that? Supercalifragilistic whatever that. You know, you try to put a word together. Supercalifragilistic. I can't remember however you say that crap, but you can try to throw a word together like that. And try to come up with, you know, and it's not going to be good enough, man. You know, biblical proportions is the best probably that you're going to be able to do. But the Lord is finna do it big, man. He's going to do, because this is it. This is it, man. So the Lord is about to make a final point, you know, to Jake. This one last final point, you know, of kicking Jake in his rump. You know, I'm trying to keep this PG, you know. Normally I just, you know, but it's all good. But yeah, he gonna put his foot up Jake's tail, man. You know what I'm saying? One final time, really, really good. You know, and then the kingdom of heaven gonna be established. So you've never seen it. You're gonna see it once. You never see it again. You know what I'm saying? Kingdom of heaven will be established after that. So it's about to be a special time in the earth, man. You know, an unforgettable time in the earth. You know, it's about to change everything. So. But we're here, man. This is Jeremiah 30 and verse 7, just to back that up. And it says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. You know, a time unlike any other since there was a nation. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And you got a lot of cats out here, these throwed off wayward camps that's erring in a doctrine, teaching that there's not going to be a Jacob's trouble, bro. Wow. Bugged out, bro. You know, and we're reading it. These are prophecies. You know, end time prophecies spoken before by different prophets, man. Daniel, here's Jeremiah. You know, credible men. part of the elect. The Lord is dealing with these men. And then you got these other fools out here that's claiming to be men of the Lord that are saying these things, or basically calling the prophets of the Lord liars, man. When no, actually, you're the liar, bro. These things are written. As a matter of fact, let's real quick. Let's get another one since we on this track. This is Acts 14 and 22. And it reads, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation, trouble, enter into the kingdom of the Most High. So you're not going to get into the kingdom without going through the trouble, man. Jacob's trouble. It's all talking about the same thing. These things are written. You know what I'm saying? So come on, man. All these different that are saying the same thing, bro. As a matter of fact, let's get it in Matthew. This is Matthew 24. And we'll start at verse 21. Matthew 24 and 21. And it reads, red letters, Yahushua speaking. This is Yahushua saying this, man. And you're going to still say it's not? Bro, these devils are, these dudes, man. It is what it is, man. Matthew 24 and 21. It says, red letters, Yahushua speaking. For then shall be great tribulation, trouble, such as was not since the beginning of the world. Same thing, Daniel, Jeremiah, Acts. It's all saying the same thing, bro. For then shall be great tribulation, trouble, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. No, nor ever shall be. Yeah, you're going to see it once, never seen it. You're going to see it once, never see it again. Verse 22, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened, And hey, man, but we're here, and that's clear and to the point, man. The Lord, it's going to be so ugly. The Lord is going to have to, speed things up and shut it down. He's already speeding things up. But once this stuff actually really, we're in the full blown, of Jacob's trouble, time of Jacob's trouble. Yeah, the Lord is going to have to shorten that, man. Else this nigga is going to kill everybody. There ain't going to be no flesh left to be saved. He going to take out the Israelites, man, which the Lord is not going to allow, man. There's an elect. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but we're there, man. These things are happening. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, the beautiful thing is, there is an elect, like I said, the elect is written in Isaiah the 10th chapter, those returning, As a matter of fact, let's just get it right quick. This is Isaiah chapter 10. And we're going to jump down to verse 20. It says a remnant will return. There it is. That's the elect, man. Isaiah 10 and 20, it says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob. So they're going to escape the coming, calamities and, all these things that are about to come into the earth, man. You know what I'm saying? It says they that are escaped. When you read that, those are the same ones in Daniel the 12th chapter that's written in the book. Same ones in Jeremiah 30, and he shall be saved out of it. That's the elect. It's talking about the same people, the remnant that's returning right here. It says, and it shall come to pass, Isaiah 10 and 20, and it shall come to pass in that day, and we're in that day now, that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, and that word stay means to rely or depend on. We're not going to rely or depend on Esau. 2/3 will. That's why Zechariah 13 and 8 is going to come into play, man. And 2 parts shall be cut off and die. But the 1 part shall be bought through the fire. The 1 part, the remnant, he in Jeremiah 30 and 7 is going to be saved out of it. Them that written in the book. All of them are talking about the same people, man. These people we're reading right here. The elect, man. The elect of the Most High. It says, but shall stay upon the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the Holy One of Israel in truth. Yeah, the elect, the remnant that's returning in these times, are going to stay or depend, rely on the Lord, man. You know what I'm saying? So we're not worrying about this nigga's SNAP benefits or you know what I'm saying? And those that's a part of the elect, they're not going to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to worry about the little dainties and goodies that Esau controls, that he's kind of dangled out there. You know what I'm saying? 2/3 of our people, yeah, they're gonna fold, man. You know what I'm saying? Because like the scripture saying in Ecclesiastes, uh, the 12th chapter, it speaks of their windows being darkened. You know, they don't have any answers, man. You know, they got no answers, bro. So they don't know which way to turn, bro. They don't know. They don't know the names. They don't know, bro. They've rejected it. If you know, but Hosea the 4th chapter. You know, my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge, man. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee and thy children. You know, so the Lord is going to reject the majority of his people, man, because they're going to reject his word. You know, reminds me of Proverbs the 1st chapter, man. You know, he's going to laugh at you. You know, all this counsel, you know, and you ain't going to take it to heart, man. You're not going, they're going to reject it. They're going to pull away the shoulder, like the scriptures say. You know, I don't want to hear that, you know, pulling away. And then going to talk shit about the men of the Lord, the servants, the prophets, man, you know, and tell us how wrong we are. You know what I'm saying? Telling us to take off dresses and go get jobs, go to work. You know, come on, man. Brothers driving cars and got houses and pay bills and got children they raising and feeding and household they're holding down. But these people think that these men are out here, bums out here, which we've been called the bum camp. You know what I'm saying? By those members over there in purple. You know, I don't want to give them no shine. You know what I'm talking about. So whatever, man, you know, you're the sellouts, you know. But Isaiah 10 and 21, it says, the remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, unto the mighty power. It says, for though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The small number, small in number, few. That's what remnant means. It says the consumption decreed shall overflow with righteousness. And that consumption is at the end of the day, thermonuclear destruction, that fire, man, that the Lord is going to send into the earth, man. You know, it says, verse 23, for the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, power of armies, shall make a consumption, even determined in the midst of all the land. You know, yeah. So right here in America, man, that consumption decreed is going to be overflow with righteousness, man. You know. And that's what's coming. And the majority of our people are not going to make it through these things, man. You know, 2 parts shall have to be cut off and die, man. Zechariah 13:8. So, but that remnant, the elect, man, you know what I'm saying? They're going to be bought through all of this madness, man. So, and that reminds me of because, you know, for any of the Akim, Akwathium, you know what I'm saying? That's maybe, you know, have those benefits. Don't fret, man. Don't worry. The Lord is with us, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get one last scripture to make that point. This is Isaiah 65 and 13. And it reads, because the Lord spoke these things, man. Isaiah 55 and 11. As a matter of fact, let me read that first. Then I'll come back to that one. Let me read that first. This is Isaiah 55 and verse 11. And it reads, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please. And it shall prosper in the thing whereto I send it. So these things have been spoken by the Lord and written down by his men, his prophets. You know what I'm saying? So don't fret. The Lord's words have to come to pass. I'm going to read something that he spoke, you know, about these very things, man. This is Isaiah chapter 65. And verse 13. And it reads, therefore thus saith Yahweh Shem Yahushai power, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. So that's the difference between the elect in 1/3 and the 2/3, man. The elect in 1/3 going to eat, they're going to drink, and they're going to rejoice in these coming times, these bad times, when everybody else, including the 2/3, is going to be hungry, thirsty, and ashamed, you know, because they rejected this knowledge, man. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, you know, but hey, you can put faith in those words, man. You know what I'm saying? They mean everything. So, you know, keep your faith, man. You know, keep that faith, man. So, with that, hopefully this was edifying to the hopeful elect, giving all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Wahar Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elder bishops, and the elders of the great millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect, the house of David. Bayath Shah Dawadah Shalom.